No, that's too expensive. They've already closed. There's nothing to do. I hear it over and over again from SU students, from tourists, even from young men trying to plan a date. And trust me, I've been one of those. With the cost of fast food skyrocketing and with shops often closing early in the day, young adults and families are often left feeling like there's nothing to do, or worse, that those options are simply too expensive. This is where Dippers comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ian Small, and I am the co-founder and owner of Dippers, a chocolate-covered frozen banana shop. It is our mission to become the spot for anyone looking to fill their sweet cravings without feeling any guilt. Let's talk about our product. When you walk into Dippers, you're first going to pick from a half banana, whole banana, or an ice cream bar. Then everything gets dipped into chocolate, and you can pick from 8 different toppings and 5 different drizzles. That gives you over 12,000 different combinations, and with weekly flavors, you'll never run out of options. By maintaining a low cost of production, around 82 cents per banana, we're able to keep a high profit margin while still keeping our prices extremely affordable. The most expensive item on my menu is $6, and with an average of $4.75 across the menu, you can see why we've become a hub for young families trying to fill their kids' sweet tooths. All right, location. Let's talk about where we are and how we got there. Last summer, me and my sister started selling at the Festival City Farmers Market, and we quickly learned that people love frozen bananas as much as we do. Within a few short months, we were able to afford a lease at a location nearby, and we took the biggest leap of faith in our lives. On January 30th of this year, we opened our doors, and Cedar City has welcomed us with open arms, even selling us out twice. Since then, we've had to hire 4 new employees to help keep the doors open. We are walking distance from SUU, and we are centrally located between 5 of the biggest event and tourist locations here in Cedar City, as well as the new venue Cedar City that just opened up. We are around the corner or across the street from some of the biggest names of food in the city. I'm talking about Centro, the pub, the winery, and what's better than a chocolate-covered frozen banana for dessert? We use a variety of different marketing strategies and are constantly in the process of honing in our attempts to be more effective. Our main tool is social media, where we have a substantial following and our posts generally hit around 4,000 views. We work really hard to create content that people want to engage with and not just scroll past. We've also used a variety of different broad stroke marketing tools like billboards and flyers, and are going to be in the first edition of the Green Pages coming to Cedar City in the upcoming weeks. One of the biggest problems we're facing is keeping enough frozen bananas in our store. With a storefront of less than 500 square feet, we simply cannot fit more freezers into our building. This puts a cap on how much profit we can make on our busy days, and we want to be able to accept bulk and catering orders, but simply don't have the space. Because of this, we are looking into different solutions, including an outdoor freezer or a possible move across the street into the storefronts that are being built near the winery. Thank you for considering Dippers. Now, who's ready to make frozen bananas the new dessert of Cedar City? Okay, I've got some treats that are going to be passed around here, some samples. If there's questions, I can take those.
What's the life expectancy of a banana, and how do you extend it?
Well, are you asking until they're kind of too ripe to be used? Yeah, so we buy them green, like in the boxes and stuff, so they take about a week to ripen, and then we freeze them, and they can last up to 4 weeks frozen. Yeah, so they last forever, and then also any waste we get, so if we don't have the space in our freezers to freeze them or anything like that, we also sell banana bread, and so any waste is turned into that. It's kind of one of our other goals is being eco-friendly, so the only plastic product I have is a plastic wrap, and we're trying to look into different ways to get rid of that itself too, so we recycle it, basically. Any other questions?
Yes.
Sorry.
I kind of feel like you only have really kind of one thing in the basket. I understand your establishment plans, which is cool. In a place like Cedar City, I wonder how saturated this desire for bananas is going to be eventually. Have you given any thought to not a big expansion, but some expansion of the market for product related to bananas?
Yeah, actually. So, and this kind of comes back to that problem with freezers. It's just any new product is taking more space. It's kind of this catch-22 with it. We've talked about strawberries, different things like that. There's a couple different businesses similar to ours that use fountains and stuff. We've thought about kind of adding almost like an entertainment bit where you get to fill your own cup with chocolate kind of thing, with whatever fruit you put in there. So we have a couple different ideas along that line, as well as just different ways to market that.
I have several questions to follow up to that. First is frozen bananas sound really, really nice in the heat summer. How about when it's 20 degrees in minus 40 degrees wind chill. Yeah. Ancillary products. Number two is there's a lot of competition in this EV space. So I'd love to know who you perceive as your highest competition in Cedar City.
Okay. So your first question, just to clarify, is how are we going to stay busy in the winter, right?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a lot of people wanting to eat frozen bananas, right?
Right, absolutely.
So I don't know about everyone else, but I'm not sure I want to be eating frozen bananas in February.
I eat ice cream in February.
They eat ice cream in
So
February,
yeah,
right?
so that's actually something I want to talk about. So I believe it's Cold Stone reports their highest sales in the month of January, and Alaska is the biggest manufacturer or consumer, I can't remember which one, of ice cream. So there is something weird in our psyche. We do actually want ice cream in the winter. But also we thought about doing different seasonal products and different things like that. So as we get to those things, we might be looking into different ways to bring in things. That's something that obviously we have to consider being
Do you sell hot
frozen.
chocolate or anything like
Different,
that?
yeah. We've thought about different things like that. As of this point, we don't, but we're looking into options like that. And then the other question is who's our biggest competition, right? Because there's a lot of different options like that. Right? I think our biggest competitor is probably going to be places like Crumble, Swig, places that just have. I mean, they're enormous brands that can take over anything. Like it's hard. It's always going to be hard for our small business to compete with places that can, have just every amount of marketing money and everything like that. And everyone knows that.
I hate bananas, but I loved this. And I was curious, did you come up with your own recipe for chocolate? Because it's really unique, and I was really impressed.
Yeah.
I
So
would never, ever, by myself, have ordered this, but now I'm like, I gotta tell my family.
that is something we get a lot of people coming in and are like, oh, I'll just try the ice cream. And I always say like, well, if you've never tried one, you've got to try it. It's not what you think it's going to be. We do have a secret recipe with our chocolate.
Good, good.
And we do offer those ice cream options for people who don't like bananas or have allergies or anything like that.
And could you expand on allergies? How do you handle that? Does that affect your business model?
Yeah, that's so one of the things we don't have this up yet, but we are putting a little thing that says like, let us know about your allergies or whatever, because we have noticed that. But so we keep peanuts, anything like that. So when you're making the banana or whatever, if they were peanuts or anything that's a high allergen, we do that last. So we touch the Oreos and then the sprinkles and then the peanuts or whatever. Then also we have options that are kept up underneath, so people who have gluten-free or all sorts of different things, So we have a separate, for all of our flavors, we have a separate container that's sealed, so that we can pull those out and make products.
So what do you plan to do with your winnings?
So I touched on it there at the end, but like you said, we have this kind of problem where we needed more space than we thought. So we're looking into an outdoor freezer. We've talked to an electrician and some different people on getting that. That takes around $6,000 probably we're looking at just to get that all. We don't have the power out there and everything. But the other option would be possibly we've worked with someone's building a kind of these storefronts near the winery, making a little plaza. And we're talking to them, trying to get more details. We don't have enough details yet to kind of say like that's probably the right move. But once we get more details, we're thinking about possibly moving just across the street to the winery.
Well, the other thing that may not be a question, but it might be something that means something here, is you might be able to, rather than have everything revolving around that storefront, maybe there's places in town that would be willing to sell your products, and you can step into the wholesale area.
Yeah.
And maybe Crumble would love to have a frozen banana place in there somewhere,
Yeah, we haven't looked into specifically wholesale or anything, but we have looked into possibly with catering, possibly having a small stand that can go to your wedding or whatever. We've had a lot of requests for those type of things. So we're kind of looking into those options. We don't have details on those, so those two are the ones that we have the most details on right now. So anything else?
Where do you source your bananas?
Costco right now, and sometimes US Foods, depending on how many we need, what rifles, things like that. Whatever price is best.
How many bananas can you handle at any one time because you've got a process. So you've got green and ripe and then frozen.
So in our entire store, how many
Yeah.
could we could probably, if we're counting not frozen ones, we'd probably be right around 1,200 bananas, individual. We've never had that many because we get one shipment, so it doesn't work out that way in reality. But in theory, if we tried to pack it up, I think we could get around that many. But The main problem there is it's not just having bananas in the store, they take 24 hours to freeze. So there's like, if you run out, you're out.